But let's talk about this. How is a closing attorney state different than other states? Like, why is it that way? And then how do closings work in other states?
Georgia's a closing attorney state.
Okay.
I always want to say, because we do it really well, maybe better, but there's only 6 closing attorney states.
Okay.
And there are 44 that don't require it. And basically, it's the law, right?
Right.
And so the law says that you have to have an attorney to transfer title.
Right.
And that's what happens at the settlement. That's when you're signing those documents.
Right.
That's when you're transferring from the seller to the buyer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or when you're putting or placing a security deed on the property. That's what you really do.
Right.
Okay? And so by law, by statute, you have to be an attorney.
Yep.
And that's the base reason for it.
Yep.
And what they do is that's the settlement part. It doesn't always include the title part, but that's the settlement part.
And do you think that the Georgia legislature, which I know is full of lawyers, but do you think that they at some point in time it was passed as a law, but do you think that was designed to protect the consumer? Because it seems like it might be, because if you have attorneys doing it, you have somebody looking out after the title work and helping avoid mistakes. Do you think that was the reason?
I do, in the sense of lawyers are, circumspect, right?
Right.
They have developed these practices. They're going to be around for a long time. They're going to do a good job. They pay attention, and you can get to that lawyer, and you have different mechanisms to get to that lawyer. So it's accountability.
Mm-hmm.
If something goes wrong, it's not like that company hired somebody else and they came in and out. I mean, you can get right to that lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that was the basis of it.
Yeah.
I don't know the legislative history, but it makes a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the claims, I actually think the claims are way lower.
Way lower. What is a title insurance policy? Then what is an owner's title policy compared to a lender's title policy?
When you sell a property, essentially the new owner and the new lender, if there is one, they want that property free and clear of any liens or bad links in the chain of title or something, right?
Yep.
And so our role would be, as there's 2 parts. We're the escrow agent, the settlement agent, but we're also the title agent. So we clear the title as the title agent. You don't always have to be a lawyer to do that part, but we do.
Yep.
And so we literally, I call them hooks in a house. These hooks are the liens or they're,
Well, that's true. Like you got something hooked to the side of the house.
And so then you unhook them.
Yep.
And then the new lender comes in and places their hook, and they want to be in first position. Mm-hmm. And so we ensure that all the hooks are gone, and then we transfer that to the new owner. And so the new owner, if there's a claim, somebody makes a claim on the property or says, hey, there's a problem, that's what the title insurance, they make a claim. And like you're saying, title insurance company will say, oh, that's really not a covered claim. And there's some things that aren't covered. That's the owner, and generally a lender's going to want it as well. And so the lender wants to be in first position, and so that's what they're getting insured. The same as the owner, in the sense of you're in first place now. And so when we put the new hook in, we're telling you in first place, nobody's going to beat you out. So if you ever need to foreclose or take over the house, and there's nothing bad going on in the house, and the same, what's going on with the land.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the same kinds of protections.
What is chain of title, and what is it you're trying to do?
Chain of title is a term or a feature of the examination. So it will be a 50-year history. They'll go through and they'll find what hooks got in, what hooks got out, right?
Okay.
And they'll also, the chain of title is when the transfers occur, right?
Yep.
And so all the hooks happen in the middle, but your links. And so 3 people behind you,
right,
let's say, that what ends up really happening is, okay, that's a problem.
Yes.
But your title insurance will cover that problem because nobody knew that was a problem.
That's right.
So your new buyer is a bona fide purchaser.
Yep.
They went in with the clean hands and they made that purchase. And because they did that, and the seller has clean hands, they didn't know because they bought title insurance.
That's right.
So that title insurance will cover that and deal with that 3 people ago problem. That's the feature. Now, if the buyer or the seller actually knew, that might be a little bit of a problem.
That's right.
Now, if the buyer knew, they're fine.
Yeah.
But if the seller knew, and they sign an affidavit that says, I don't think anything's wrong here,